Alrighty, how's it going? It's been a minute since I've streamed on this channel, and I am half asleep, my god. It is already 9:30, but I kind of wanted to keep working on D&D. I've been doing a bunch of work since the last stream. So, we now have... Hang on, I have the webpage. Where is it? We now have monks, paladins, rangers, and rogues all done. They're ready to go. They're moving. They're grooving. It's great. The next thing we're going to do is sorcerers. Alright, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass. That turned into a whole rabbit hole because I had to modify how these work. If we open up these now, this is basically the character sheet, but in JSON format. So you got your strength, dexterity, constitution, all that good stuff. Subclass, the class name for the ranger, the class type, all that information there. This here, the subclass information, this string actually gets saved as another one of these, another JSON. I've employed the nested JSON structure. You can see it in the Sandy here. In the Sandy. As a... Oh, where is it? Up here? Yep, here. Right there. So as a draconic bloodline, I have to save additional information in the character sheet alongside... the character sheet. Alongside the character information. Which needs to include the color of the dragon. Basically, that's all this is. This was me trying to figure out how to include this color selection right here. Black, blue, bronze, brass, bronze, copper, blah 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 blah. All that good shit. But anyway, here let's do an example. What do we got? We got Sandy the Sorcerer versus Ricky the Ranger. What does that look like these days? We still haven't gone back to do all the visuals and made it all pretty. My god, I am very tired. I'm sorry, this isn't great streaming, but, you know. I didn't exactly start this stream expecting to be a great streamer today. It's more just I wanted to do some coding. Thought, it's been ages since I've done it live, so may as well. Here comes the kitty cat. But alright. Longbow attack from Ricky. He misses. Ray of Sickness from Sandy. Misses. Longbow again. Misses. God damn. Ray of Sickness. Misses. Longbow. There we go. Got a hit in. Ooh, Ricky's down. That also would have done Hunter's Mark in the same turn. Ricky, I'm about to start coding. You're not allowed to be on my lap while I'm coding. I can't type. Yeah. You're not even here for pats. You're just here to whinge at me because I'm talking now. You just want to go outside, don't you? Yeah. You see Sandy and Ricky fighting up there? Crazy, isn't it? Ricky is really taking it. Come on, Sandy, you can do it. Maybe not this round. Oh, no, you're good, you're good. 11? You done 11 damage there? That's crazy. Oh no, it was 2 ones. I was gonna say, there's no way he has 11 more than 11 hit points at, and only doing half level. Ugh, never mind. It was 2 ones. Come on, Sandy, you can do it. Just win one. Oh no. Ricky's got a really good AC. It's gonna be hard to get. Rangers are pretty solid at low level. Just having Hunter's Mark, it really does a lot. Oh man, it's rough. I have a, in my party at the moment, like the campaign that I'm DMing, we're only on 3rd level, but one of the party members is 2 levels into the, path of the, Cleric of the Hunt, which is a Heliana's Guide one, and he has multi-classed into Rogue. He's done that just so that he could be like a cleric that can basically move around the battlefield quite good, and like be able to basically disengage as a bonus action. That's his entire purpose for it. But Path of the Hunt gives you like a Hunter's Mark style thing. So if he can get advantage from flanking, he then gets off. He gets off for sure. But he can then get off as a sneak attack, Hunter's Mark, and a weapon attack, which they already have really good weapons. I mean, not really good, but like fairly good. So he does so much damage for a 3rd level character. It's fucked up. It's not right. It's not right. But alright, anyway. In here, we now have the on deserialization function that is built into the subclasses. We may need it for features later on, but I'm not sure yet. Actually, I'm pretty sure we will. Anyway, continue from here. What does that look like? Sorcerer. So we're looking for first level features from the Sorcerer Draconic Bloodline. So as magic flows through, at first level your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again whenever you gain level in this class. Alright. You also get an unarmored defense style thing. That I feel like we haven't got a proper way to wait. But it does mean that we need to create a new feature for that. So we'll go to Sorcerer, and what is it called? What was it called again? Draconic Resilience. Draconic Resilience with an A. It's with an E. Of course it's with an E. Every time I think it's an E, I change it to an A, and then I... Never mind. It's fine. Alright, open that up. We are just going to copy you. At least this bit. Alright, Draconic Resilience. All that is what we'll need. With an F, feature is spelled. Let's go to inherit from a feature object. Alright. And with that, what does it need to do exactly? So we need to increase, this is 2 different parts. So at first level, your hit point maximum increases. And then again, increases by 1 every time you gain a level. So when you get this and when you gain a level. Does the feature up have an on level up function? It should do. Yes, it does. Right there. So we need an on add feature and on level up. Oh. What do you want, kitty cat? On add feature. We don't need to inherit from anything. Oh, we don't need the base class. There is no base class to do. It's just a wasted line. And on level up, we also need level. Now, both of these things are going to do the same thing, which is going to be... It's going to need a void increase health. So and that's going to happen each time. And it's going to do it on the character sheet. Okay, do we have some sort of add health functionality? I don't believe we do. I mean, we do to some degree, but I believe the only... I've had to reopen all this. I moved it to a GitHub folder, so my original open things up the top have moved around. Yes, Raki. Hello. I hear you. I see you. You are heard. You are seen. You're an asshole still, yes, but you know. Right here, this add health. What is that doing? It is in the base class object. Add health. Now, that's all it's doing. Just sheet.health plus a thing? Okay, yeah, shit, easy, I can do that. Easy. Oh, we can get rid of Sandy up there, don't save. Easy. Where are you? Increase health. I am going to keep it in here because, I mean, even though it's only a one line. What are you doing, right? Actually, since it's only a one line, let's do fancy. Let's do fancy. We can go that. Actually, do we even have to do that? We can just go like this, right? If we throw that into it, we can just say sheet dot health plus plus. And then we can just throw sheet in there and sheet in there. Sick, easy, sick mad. God, I'm good. So smart. Okay, what was the other half of that? It was a not a resilience thing. It was a. Additionally, parts of your skin are covered in thin sheen of green of dragon scales. Man, I can't read tonight. When you aren't wearing armor, your AC equals 13 plus your dex. So, for that, I'm going to look at how I'm hindering unarmored defense. Which is when the feature is initialized. It's looking to see if the new AC of being unarmored is better than whether or not you would be armored. Because I'm guessing you put on armor before the features? Yeah, the features are the last thing to be initialized. Which means that if it decides that it wants to wear armor in the if it has armor in its inventory and puts it on, features like this should actually take it off. Base armor class. What are you? I mean, I guess base armor class. So I know that armor class in this sense should be split up into two different things. Armor class as a base, and then also additions. So shields are going to be an addition, whereas armor is going to modify the base. Shields are a +2, whereas armor is setting. You're not increasing, you're not adding anything besides what the armor gives you. I'm just listening. Rick, was that you being weird? Where are you? No, it wasn't you. What was that? No idea what that was. I wasn't coming to get you. You didn't have to come back over with me. I heard a weird noise. Thought it was you. I don't remember what that was. Alright, and then anything that's reading from armor class should read from an accessor up here, right? Yeah, armor class plus armor class bonus. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Oh. So this here would need a public override again on init. On init, you are going to do the same shit as over here. So in here, I am quickly just going to say if user dot equipped armor unequip. I think that's all that you have to do. Yeah, I think that's all you gotta do to unequip armor. This is necessary. Monks also have the same thing, so I'm gonna copy that into there. Just to make sure that no armor's sneaking through. Wouldn't make a difference because the AC is already being set. But you can't hurt. That way if we ever do visuals for it, it'll know to unequip the visuals. Alright, so it is going to be plus dex. And it was 13 plus dex, was it not? Yes, Raki. Yes, Raki, I hear you. I'm going to... What was that? Oh. I just saw skin color. I was like, what the fuck was I watching? It was, what is it? It was the dude that makes the clock, the marble clocks. What was it? Ivan? Hang on, I'm looking at the thing again. Ivan Miranda. Anyway. We're gonna just copy this into here. Like that. Like that. Rack, I hear you over there. Really? Good enough for me. Alright, I think that does it. It was 13 plus dex, was it not? I double checked that. I didn't have to go back to double check that, and yes it is. Alright. Well, that is the Draconic Resilience feature done. Which means... I'm going to go back over here, remember how I add a feature, because I don't remember. Right there. See? You just copy paste everything. I've done it somewhere before. Right there. Yeah, copy this too. Copy this too. Right now. Alright, and that'll do it. That should give us the Draconic Resilience feature all done and dusted. So, without even testing it, we're going to run in over here. Dragon Ancestor, we got that one done as well, though I did that before we started stream. And Draconic Resilience. We nailed that as well. Alright. Racky. What are you doing? Stop being a pest. God damn, man. Why is it as soon as I start stream you gotta be dicking around? Alright. So that is good. That is good. That works. We're good. Divine Soul. Okay, you link... Oh my god, why am I so bad at reading tonight? You link to the Divine. Your link to the Divine allows you to learn spells normally associated with the Cleric class. When your spellcasting feature lets you learn a Sorcerer cantrip, your Sorcerer spell of first level or higher, you can choose a new spell from the Cleric's... You can choose a new spell from the Cleric spell list or the Sorcerer spell list. You must otherwise obey all the restrictions for selecting a spell and it becomes a Sorcerer spell for you. Okay. In addition, you choose an affinity for your source of divine power. Blah, blah, blah. You learn an additional spell based on that affinity as shown below. Okay. Oh, god damn it. What are you doing, Rank? What? No, I'm doing shit. You don't even want to hop on my lap. You just want to go outside. You're not going outside. The dumbest shit I ever did was starting to take that dude for walks. Now it's all he wants to do. Alright, Divine Magic. I can figure this out. So, one of the most complicated parts of this is modifying the spellcasting feature to allow for clerics and sorcerers. So, what would that look like? We can get rid of that one. We can get rid of that one. Sorcerer. So yes, this spellcasting here. So the spellcasting feature looks like this. Common features, spellcasting. So it comes into here, it sets the amount of spell slots you're able to cast, which will need a modification eventually when we add multiclassing to be able to have half-casters be a thing. And then per level, oh no, those are the prepare spells, sorry, my bad. On level up, here. So when a sorcerer levels up, which, my god, all of these are open, aren't they? We're not scrolling through all of these. Okay, down here. So yeah, when they get a new spell, as they do on each level, they pick from the Sorcerer spell list. We would need to find a way to modify this to change this list here. My cat is already driving me nuts. So how would we do that? I mean, for starters, we also need to do this part. So, we need a feature. Alright. What is it called again? It is a Divine Soul... Oh, we don't need that. We already have that. We go over to... Not items. Subclasses. Sorcerer. Divine Soul. Right here. We're also going to need the Divine Magic. Right, yeah, no, never mind. Divine Magic is the feature we need. We have this one, which... Those are placeholders. Alright. It's an odd one, isn't it? Some of these file names, some of them include spaces, some of them don't. And I hate that I've had inconsistencies like that. It really bothers me. Alright, either way, we'll make this feature the Divine Magic feature. No space. Divine Magic feature. Yep. Copy this. We don't always need to copy all of this. I probably should be a little more conservative with it. Yeah. We bring it all over. Alright. Divine Magic. Divine Magic and feature object. Beauty. Alright, so that is the baseline. Now, how are we doing this? So in the spellcasting feature, each time it levels up, it is picking a new spell. How do we modify this list during this function? What else do we have? What is this function? Does it include the... It does. Spell level, class type. It gets the expended spell list from the sheet. So maybe we can add the cleric list as a list of extended spell, as an expended spell list. Expanded. And that does that by grabbing the class type. Right, yeah, because it checks to find the class. No, actually, no, this needs to be changed to not include the class type, because eventually we will have multi-classing. So we want to look through each of the classes. And add it to this list. Just trying to think. I don't want to modify things too heavily. You never know where you might want to undo shit. So as it stands, we're passing in a character sheet and a desired class type, which is just where it looks. It's picking the spell from the class type that you chose, that you pass in when you look here. So it is essentially what that is doing is looking at the sorcerer spells, or is finding a list of all the sorcerer spells. Hang on, wait, back. Oh no, sorry, not finding a list. It's grabbing the Sorcerer subclass, or at least checking to find a Sorcerer class, seeing if it has a subclass. It's grabbing that subclass object, and then taking the list from the subclass's expanded spell list. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry, never mind. this should be... modified to include, with an L, all subclasses. No. As it stands, we haven't got multi-class functionality for the spellcasting feature. This also needs to be modified to know what it is. What it is and what it do. Sorry. Yes. That can come later though. So we don't need to worry about that now. I did lose my original train of thought, which was... all we need to do is make this Divine Magic's expanded spell list be the Cleric spell list. How do we do that? I have an idea. I have an idea. This, go away, you're not the part that needs to be modified. So this get expanded spell list when you're looking at the Divine Magic. God damn it, we got too many things open and it's already confusing me. Goddamn ADHD. Okay, so it's from this subclass here. So we're looking at the subclass object. Subclass object, and it's getting this expanded spell list. This is the function that it's running. So get valid spells for character level. Oh, expanded spell list is its own class. Crazy. So could I... where can I tap into this for it to return something else? Not this song. Because it's already looking at the subclass. This is a virtual void. We can already override this. Yeah. So this is not in... Sorry, this is confusing. It's very different to anything I've had to do in this. So I really need to think about it. Yeah. This Divine Magic shit doesn't need to be a feature at all. It is a part of the subclass. So I've done that wrong. See, this happens sometimes. So this divine magic feature, we can get rid of it. We can just delete it. We don't need it. Get it out of here. Yes, go away. Okay, so it's going to be in here, in the Divine Soul subclass, that it is going to public override the get expanded spell list. So for that, instead of returning whatever is attached to here, wait, what was this setup like again? I'll trust it. I also just realized required level. I don't know, man. Man, my code base is... It's almost too broad to be able to remember... Like, it is too broad to be able to remember everything. It's very hard to be able to wrap your mind around. To know everything that it... and how it all works. I believe that all I need to really do is just something along the lines of D&D utilities.get spell list of what spell level. So this is what I need to know. We need to know to pass this in. What spell level are we going to do? The class, I mean, we definitely know is going to be Sorcerer. Actually, no, this doesn't matter. Hang on, what? Get spell list. Class type. There was two different versions of it. So we want to say cleric spells here. Hang on, what? Wow, you're a bastard. Oh, you're not static. You're not public. Okay, yeah. I don't see why you weren't. Alright, so if we're getting the expanded spell list, we need to know the maximum level. And then... we don't have a function for including the... Ah. I see. We weren't meant to be getting those ones. I was meant to be using this one. Why is there so many and why don't they stack properly? Because these ones also aren't. God damn it. These ones also aren't public. Yep. Nailed it. Alright. So we want spell level, class type, and we want the ability to include lower levels. For sure. Why not? Now, Divine Soul. When you get that, you're fine now. So you need to get the spell list of these. We need to know the level. That's what we need to pass through. So we're passing in the character level. I mean, I guess it just depends on the... I mean, technically you want to look at the highest available spell. Yeah, you reckon, Rack? Hmm? You're making it hard for me to think when you're sitting there meowing at me. This is tricky. So I think I think I'm just gonna have to hard code of like a, if character level is above this, then then the high max level is 1. If it's higher than this, then it's 2. If it's higher than this, then it's 3. You know? I think that's where I'm at. And also, when it's including lower levels, it better not be including... cantrips. It is, goddammit. We can just say I is more than 1 there. Oh wait, no. Okay, no, I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust that I thought of this. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think... yeah. Unless we were to code in a, get highest available spell. But this is for sure also like putting in character level, not class level. Which is another problem for multi-classing purposes down the line. We're going to have so many bugs when it comes to multi-classing and when we finally implement it. It's going to be insane. Let's go back and try and see if we can get that to be class level. Bam. Fixed it. That's one bug. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Should we have a function that is like get highest available spell level? I don't think I have one. I reckon we need to get highest spell level. We're gonna make it as a table though. Because we know that so at first level, the highest spell level is there. At third level, the highest spell level is 2. Or is, yeah, second level spells. So this is the amount of spell slots you have. So I think I'm just going to duplicate this, and then say... highest spell slot table. And then on each axis it's going to have the different classes. Which, so far, is only full casters. I'm going to trust that this is probably still the right idea. So on first level, which is 0. Now we're going to do 1. And then it's still 1. And then you get 2. It's actually every second level, so I'm just going to go like this. Oh, it was the one I didn't need to change. Alright, it's every second level. I think so. Okay, 8, 8, and then the rest are 9. I'm so smart. Okay. So this is the table we read. Where did we need that for again? I can't even remember. We just say... We're going to cast it to that. We're going to say D&D utilities. Dot highest spell level table 0 on the first axis, and we're going to say class level on this one. And then casting that as a spell level should mean that if this is 0 or 1, then it will return first level, essentially, which is going to be a 1, which will be the second element in spell level, level 1. And it has 10 elements. 1, 2, 3. I think that should work. I think that is a one-line solution to adding the cleric spell list when getting the expanded spell. When it gets the expanded spell list in the subclass, I want to add another bool or include lower levels. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say true for now. You know what? We might even pass this back into here. Oops, I didn't need to do the comma. And then that. Where are you at? Down. Include lower levels. Here. Alright, now we've brought it back to the root. Now we're rooting. Beautiful. Okay, so now that inherits the entire line of logic when it comes to inheriting lower level spells. Okay, so the Divine Subclass should now allow to... We're going to have to test this. But when it gets expanded spell list, it is doing that. Okay, this was a little bit more complicated than I was expecting. And that still only encompasses this paragraph right here. Oh, it counts for cantrips as well. Nice. Okay, in addition, choose an affinity. So that is going to be the next step. That shouldn't be too long. That one, again, requires the new functionality that I've made, which is the nested JSON files. Jesus Christ, now I get the hiccups. Just leant forward and got the hiccups. It's Jason. He's always giving me the hiccups. That bastard. Yeah. Gonna have a quick Billy, run out for a pee, I reckon. Maybe. Might just have the Billy. Alright, I didn't go to the toilet. Alright, so this one, we need to add an affinity. I think we're gonna add, we're just gonna add it to the Divine Magic subclass. So, we're going to do similar to what we did. Well, I say we. You weren't here. On the Draconic Bloodline. Also, how is Divine Soul... How am I doing that now? Anyway. So we're going to do the same thing as we've done here. So serializable, we're going to create basically a data container just for this subclass. Which is going to look exactly like this. You know what? We might as well just copy all of this. Because we're going to just take it and replace a little bit. So, let's drag an ancestor color. Oh. That is going to be switched out for affinity. Why did I put it there? Color. Divine affinity. I'm going to say that. And then I'm going to say affinity. And it's going to be divine soul there. There. Alright. You don't like that. You want system.serializable, don't you? Yeah. You're happy now. Alright, that should be it. Oh, we need to change the list from that to whatever the hell the list was. I can't remember. Good, evil, law, chaos, neutrality. Is it EU or UE? I'm so fucking smart. I'm so smart. That's it. Good, evil, law, chaos, neutrality. And then when we... Do we also have an on-feature ad? No, it's a level up thing. Alright, fine. On level up, or on ad is level 1 shit anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. I was just curious to know if I had a function for it. And then so it's gonna pick one. I am gonna have to go pee. Yeah, give me a second. Give me a hot second. I gotta go pee real quick. Real quick. Why do you do that? Every program I have, goddamn. Every time I press Control 0 to turn my camera off, it does some other shit. It's got to do something. I need a stream deck. I need to be a streamer. What do you want, kitty cat? Just because you can see that I'm about to get up, God damn. I'd skin him, but I'm just friggin' choice paralysis, you know? Alright, back in a second. Alright, I'm back. God damn it, kitty cat. No, I'm not letting you outside. What are you doing? I'm having another Billy. Because I wanted to finish this coffee off before it gets cold. And you went to wash. I did like, never mind. Yeah, I'm fine. Alrighty. Back to what we were doing. Kitty cat's such a distraction. Alright. So this should automatically... should work. Okay, so we need to pick this, which we're also going to take from the Draconic Bloodline. So down here, we add the... This one's doing Draconic Resilience. Adds a feature. That was its next thing. Never mind, that's fine. It's this here that we need to take. The Dragon Ancestor Pickera. We want to modify that to be this. So this automatically modifies the spell list. This needs to be the dragon, not dragon, anything. It needs to be the pick random affinity and spell. Associated spell. I can't spell that shit. Never mind, and spell. I don't know how to spell. Okay, so we need array as a thing, which needs system, which made you mad, didn't it? Yes, it did. Well, not mad, but unnecessary. And then we're going to switch this out for that. Affinity, so we're going to get a random index from the array, which is not that, it is going to be the affinity options. God damn it, I always misclick. Affinity options, beautiful, and data is going to be affinity. So we are picking a random one there, beautifully. Yeah, aren't we, Racky? What are you doing? I am trying to code here, so it's gonna be... You didn't even... I hate how he does that. It's him trying to get my attention to let him outside, and he is not allowed to go outside. God damn it, he is an indoor cat. He is an asshole. Okay, so we need to add the associated spell. So we need to know if it's good... Inflict wounds, bless, bane, or whatever. So what would that look like? We need to know which one we got. Which is just a switch. Hang on, yeah. It's just a switch statement. I don't know why I'm confused about this. It's just going to be switch based on... we'll just say data.affinity since it's already been set. And then it is going to be case, affinity good. Break. Actually, we'll add one of those. duplicated a few times. What were they? Good, evil, law, chaos. Law. Chaos and neutrality. So, and then based on all of these, we're going to get a different spell. So, which ones do we even need to do? Yep. Bless, I think we done. Bane, yes. Protection from evil and good isn't a spell. Bane and Bless, I will double check. I'm pretty sure they are spells though. Bane, got it. Bless, got it. Alright, yep. All the red ones we haven't done. So protection from good and evil. Or evil and good. Red. So we don't even need to do a neutrality. Everything else we do. We'll just say missing protection from evil and good. It's protection, right? It wasn't detection? Yeah. Okay. Hello, kitty cat. You gonna jump across my lap again? Oh, there he is. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah? You reckon? I'm kind of busy. Jesus Christ, you are a menace, my cat. You're just pulling the leg of my pants up real bad. I'm gonna have to kick you off my lap. I'm not gonna be able to type while you're on my lap. Right, inflict wounds, bless, bane. I can do that. Wait, what was the first one? Cure wounds. I can't type with you on my lap. This ain't gonna work, brother. Why can't I control? There we go. There we go. You're a menace, cat. I can't fit you and this. Alright. What was it? Inflict wounds, bless, bane. Typing left-handed is weird. Law, and I mean, I'm guessing law is bless, right? And bane is chaos, for sure. Alright, so that should be step 1 of the Divine Soul subclass. Nice and complicated. And then we need a Favored by the Gods feature. Starting at first level, Divine Power guards your destiny. If you fail a saving throw or miss an attack roll, you can roll 2d4 and add it to the total. It doesn't use a reaction or anything. Ooh. How do we do that? I mean, we put it in the position of where a reaction is triggered, for sure. But it's obviously just not going to use a reaction. Starting at first level, Divine Power guards your destiny. If you fail a saving throw or miss an attack roll... So, on a failed roll, you can add to it and hopefully change the outcome. Where is our roll script? Where's Limp Biscuit? There it is, in the dice thing. Right here. Alright. Not in the damage roll, in the roll. So it's going to be after the initial roll. So in the same place we trigger things like a precise attack to add to the roll before we know whether or not we're successful. No, it's going to be after that. If you fail a saving throw, so it's going to be after that. before. So it's got to be in here, right? But this is when the target does its actions. I think it's just here. I think we do it here, but we just actually know whether or not we've failed or succeeded in the roll. It should already still have that information, so... We can determine success twice as well. Like if it's an initial failure... Yeah, no, this is already the secondary determined success. Look, there is another one up here. After it rolls, and after it... Yeah. Okay, so it's here. So we're going to trigger it here on the run post-roll actions. As a... Oh, no, it doesn't have to be a reaction at all. God, man. I'm better at coding than I give myself credit for, I'll be honest. And you just love it when you're just like, man, I'm gonna need to figure this thing out. Turns out I've already had to figure this thing out in the past. And I've already got a spot for it. So yeah, all we're going to have to do is... Cat, thank you for leaving, but next time try not to use my nuts as a springboard. It's not great. Alright. What was I... That blew my train of thought right out of my brain. I'm not going to make the joke I was going to make. Okay, let us add a feature. And here, we are going to need to rename this in a second, and let us go create that feature. What was it called again? Favored by the gods. I mean, yeah, I am. Been saying. Cat fur, god damn it. Favored by the gods. Without a U? Without a Y as well. Right? It's favored, not favored. Yeah. Fine, I'll spell it like American. Fine. Don't care enough to change it. Okay, you are not a subclass. You're a feature. Give me another feature to cheat off. You. Copy, paste. Yeah, I'll keep them capitalized. Why not? Alright, and this is a feature object. Beautiful. That. Beautiful, beautiful starting place. Okay, and then you, real quick, I'll copy you over so that you know where you're going. Don't forget that later. Alright, so we've already added this feature. This feature's empty. That's the problem. Save. Here. Alright, this feature is empty though. What does it need to do? It needs to do magic. It needs to add an action to add a little bit of, to roll 2d4. The only thing that sucks about this yeah, so the thing that sucks about this is the way that this looks right now. Hang on, we can just run a battle. So the way that this works right now is it rolls the die, it goes like +1 dexterity, +2 for archery, plus, you know, it adds all the bonuses. And then they clash, it fails. Or whatever. I think we're going to need to add another post-roll modification thing. It's going to, I think we're going to have to. It's going to have to be clearer, like, more clearly portrayed in the fight. So like there. So like that, it adds it. And then before it does this, like right there, it's a failed attack roll. So it would need to be like, oh, I failed, add another 2d4. And then do the clash together. And then it would win in this case, because it only needs to roll a 1, and it's literally impossible to roll a 1 on 2d6 or 2d4, or whatever the fuck the addition was. So I think this needs a 2-stage thing where it does this yield return process modifications. Process roll modifications. Which, this goes into here if it, unless auto fail or succeed is on. So we just need to add like a... another one of these. Down here. Where so it rolls once. We have added the modifications. We have determined initial success or failure. We are then going to trigger reactions that can occur here. And then we would do it again like there, right? So like process post-roll modifications or something like that would be the name of the function we would create there. So trigger post-roll modifications such as... what are any other examples? I cannot think of another example. I mean, I guess like even just the original things that I was saying before, like precision attack. Like precision attack would be added here as well. Or lucky even. Like once you've realized you've failed, you would lucky roll or lucky re-roll, right? I mean, depending on what the DM is allowing in your thing. I might not even have the lucky feat in this at all because it might be a little broken. Actually, in this scenario, it's probably going to be randomly generated, so fuck it, yeah. It's going to be the definition of lucky if you get it, so yeah, no, that works. But my hesitation. So this would then be triggered before the enemy's post-roll reactions. So something like down here, a perfect example would be cutting words. Right? So after the roll has been rolled, if they were successful, cutting words. Oh my god, D&D is so complicated. I'm pretty sure like a lucky reroll would be before cutting words. think this is right. I think this is right. Well, I'm just trying to think of other examples. So, like, cutting words, silvery barbs, which is a reroll, essentially. Cutting words is just a minus d6 or d4 or whatever level the bard's at. Silvery barbs is a full-on reroll. Divination wizards have full-on portent rolls, which is just replacing someone's roll. My god, there are so many exceptions to the rule that it is very, very, very hard to just be like, this is the order of operations, and this is always the order of operations. But you also don't want to have an if statement for every edge case, because then that gets cumbersome. But there's also some level of recursion, right? Like, I roll to attack a guy. Right? I miss that initial attack, right? And then I add in precision attack. Or whatever. That gets me over the line. I hit him. It's going to be a hit. He then uses silvery barbs. I then use lucky reroll. Could you do that? Could you do that? Because you'd be out, but you haven't used your reaction yet, so you could, right? If you haven't used your reaction, and they use theirs, what about counterspell? What if I cast a spell attack at you, and then I do this to... what if it's a spell attack, and I use the favor of the gods to like get there, right? And then the person uses shield or whatever, and I'd reaction counterspell. Could I do that? Is that like a thing that is... So like if that is a roll attack, it initially misses, you would then add in... What is this one? The lucky / favor of the gods. And then they would get their reaction to cast shield. Shield is another good example of this one. There's no option then for you to use your reaction. But you couldn't do that anyway, right? Because that's 2 leveled spells in a turn. You can't cast a spell attack. Okay. Back it up. That's a weapon attack. You don't make it. You add your favor of the gods. They shield. You counterspell the shield. That's doable in a turn, right? So like right here, I would have to add another trigger post-roll modification actions. Like a possible like counter spell. You know, like what? There's too much action economy in D&D. It's too hard to think of all the possible outcomes. It's just too many. I think for the sake of simplicity, we just say you... What's in the trigger end of roll actions? Okay, so it's like user-made rolls and shit like that. Okay, those aren't... Those are just actions. Those are just like a... Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. Coding is a lot sometimes, you know? Coding D&D is a task. Modification reactions. Oh, man. I mean, I think we definitely need to do this one. We need to at least, I think we need to get to here. So where we roll the process all the roll modifications. And I think after we do that, we need to clear the list of roll modifications. Either clear the list or create a secondary list of post-roll modifications. Create a list of additional modifications that happen after the initial roll, based on actions that can add those. So I think it's going to be that. This obviously doesn't need to be there because the same line is below. So this also requires a modification of a few things that already exist, such as precision attack. Because this now allows it to be, its roll to be shown on screen. That doesn't need to be like that. What does this one look like? Okay, so I think we just need to do this. We just need to empty the roll modifications list. Do it again. It's the impression I'm getting. So we've already processed the roll modifications. I say we get to here, we say roll modifications equals new list of roll modifications. And then we add more to them. We add more modifications, which can then get processed here. And then the enemy can react to that. Adding more modifications. So we need to show those as well. Oh, what of a fuck around, eh? It's a bit confusing. It means that a few things can be modified, though. For instance, the precision attack on a fighter. Where would that be? Oh shit. Never mind. I was already yield returning a roll modification in here. So I don't even need to do that. Fuck, now I'm really confused. Alright, so it was here, on the post-roll actions, where we can just say... favored by the gods. And it's F, god damn it. And then in that, we're going to do the same as this. Alright, I think I'm getting it. I think I'm figuring this out. I think I'm learning. I'm gonna take this. Alright, so on turn start. Jesus Christ. Doing that one. But You're not wrong. Each feature already has uses, correct? Yes. Which... on a net. Yeah. I know how my shit works. Okay, on turn start, we're just gonna say if uses, which my god, I'm talented. We're gonna remove the post-roll action, which is going to be this. We're gonna call it God's Favor. Alright, so it was specifically on a saving throw or miss an attack. So if it wasn't successful, we needed a bool is valid attack. Or is valid roll. That is more accurate. Which is going to take in the action info. It's all it's really going to need, I think. So we're going to say bool is valid equals true by default. And it's going to return is valid. And then in between that, we're going to say if action info dot roll dot is successful. Actually, yeah, no, we're not even going to bother setting that. We're going to just do dumbass. Return false. Like that. So if it's already successful, don't bother doing it. And we're just going to change all this. So we say is valid roll. Pass in the action info. Okay, yep. Just realized that it's actually what I wanted. There we go. So don't bother rolling if... Don't bother activating the roll if... activating if roll is already a hit. Already successful. More accurately. Okay, so we don't care if it's a roll. We need to know that it is a saving throw or attack roll. So we want to say if action info dot roll type son of a bitch, there's too many cards. Action type? What's being passed into this bit? Why am I passing a new action info in? Oh, so that way we have the information about the roll. Huh. So we can't get action type because it doesn't actually have it. Okay, so we gotta say... The only problem is there's so many different kinds of attacks. Alright, fine. We're good on that. We're good on that. No, we don't want it on checks. If it's a check, return false. If it's con save, we're good. It's a save. If it's a healing action, probably won't happen. We'll keep it anyway. Good, good, good. Initiative, you don't get to add it to initiatives. Even though initiatives I feel like are technically a check. Oh no, it's a check. Yeah, you're not allowed to add it to checks. That's the point. You're good on attacks, all attacks, ranged attack. Full type equals none? Yeah, fuck that. I don't know what that means. Or a spell save. Not allowed it on spell. Oh no, you are on spell save. God damn. Okay, no, I think you're good there. So, if you fail a saving throw or miss an attack roll. Attack, save. All these attacks are fine. And saves. And con saves. So yeah, we only need none, heal, initiative, and check. Yeah, beauty. Beauty, 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 beauty. Okay. So we know if it's a valid thing, we're going to say... We don't need to expand a superiority die. We don't have one. We're going to roll 2d4. I can't add die like that, can I? That's fine. We'll just add it as two different modifications. So what am I looking for here? Int bonus, and it is a D4 that is rolled. Add 1 D4 to the roll twice. Actually, yeah, we don't even need to create a new one, right? We just do that again. reprocess the same thing. Sure. Hopefully it doesn't give you the same number twice, but I think that works. I just hate this. 2d4 total. I can do that math. But also I just have to do that. Okay, that's fine. I think that works. Again, needs to be tested. But so do I. I just have, keep putting off the doctor's appointment. Okay, starting first level. If you fail that, you'd add 2d4 to a roll. I believe what we have created will achieve that. So we add this. If it's a valid roll, we're going to say uses minus minus. We're going to say on a net, uses equals 1. So we get 1 use. It equals 0. Beautiful. If it equals 0, then we remove the action. We should also double check for that, just in case it doesn't try and do it twice in one action. Where we'll just say if uses is less than or is equal to or less than 0. Yeah. I think that works. I think that works. Maybe, hopefully, possibly. Do we test it? Nah. I'm going to say Divine Magic favored by the gods, both rorted and snorted. Like DiCaprio's bag of coke. I don't know where I started saying that. I don't know where that came from, but here we are. Did any of that need modification? I think it's pretty solid. Needs testing, but everything does, so. Like I said, don't we all? I think that's G. I think that's good. Alright, well, that's the next one done. How many we got? We got 4 more to go. Oh, there's so many. What does the next one look like? Divine Soul. What do we got next? Lunar Sorcery. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in the class. As shown in the Lunar Spells table, each of these spells counts as a sorcerer spell for you, but it doesn't count against the number of sorcerer spells you know. Fair? Whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose what lunar phase manifests its power through your magic. Full moon, new moon, or crescent moon. While in the chosen phase, you can cast 1 first level spell of the associated phase, once without expanding a spell slot. Interesting. So this, again, requires some interesting modifications to the code. This is the first time that we need to add in a spell. This is the first time that anyone can cast a leveled spell without using a spell slot. I haven't coded functionality for that, so that needs to be a thing. You can only do it once, so we need to add and remove the spell dynamically, which is also not a thing. My face is so white with this screen of it. There's a big ass TV in front of me. It's just all white. Anyway, yeah, and then they also have to dynamically add spells at the start of a fight, which is new. That's actually less new. That's half new. Because we do have prepared spells for classes like Cleric and Druid? Possibly Druid. Interesting. It's all very interesting, isn't it? It's all very interesting. Sorry. What's the Moonfire? Starting at first level, you can call down Radiant Light, the Radiant Light of the Moon on command. You learn the Sacred Flame spell, which does not count against the number of sorcery cantrips you know. When you cast a spell, you can target one creature as normal or target 2 creatures within range that are 5 feet apart from each other. Nice. So you get a little AoE Sacred Flame. That's nice. Well, kind of AoE. It's two creatures. But that's not bad. I feel like if one of my players cast that and there was 3 people grouped up, I'd almost say that like third person takes half damage, just to be kind, you know? Make it like literally like a 5-foot radius thing, as in 5-foot square. Alright, real quick, I need to go out and pee again. And then I'll be back. And we'll have a crack at trying to figure out this one. This is a tricky one. Not that they're not that they aren't all tricky. Goddamn sorcerers. They're such little weirdos. Everything's gonna be weird. Make my life difficult, goddamn. Alright, back in a second. Oh, it's getting a little bit bloody fresh out there. Starting to get cold on this side of the world. Bloody hell. Oh my god. Sorry, I was just looking down and seeing sorcery points. Oh, there's so much to code! I think I've done fairly well at coding it so far. There's definitely been improvements along the way, but I think it's pretty solid so far. I think that there's definitely room to add all this shit. We have been having memory leak issues recently. I don't know if that's a Unity thing or a me thing. Probably a me thing. But we're gonna have to hunt those down and figure out what's causing that. That's fun. Oh yeah, Reki, no. No. I'm not letting you outside, you little pest. Stop being a turd. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Such a heartbreaker, aren't I? I mean, that's not the word he used, but I'm not allowed to say the word he used on YouTube. I get even more demonetized than I already am as an unmonetized channel. Oh yeah, we're on the coding channel today, which is even less it's even more unmonetized. Even less monetized. Even further from it. Unless that one guy that dropped in earlier, he was here for about half hour. I wonder if he subscribed. I don't know. No, he didn't. Bummer. Bummer. One day. That's all good. Maybe when I've actually made something, eh? Wrong button. No, just because I made a noise doesn't mean I was calling you over, Turd Burger. No, you're not hopping on my lap again. I'm about to keep coding. I know, I'm sorry. I'm such an asshole. Yeah. Also, I should probably just put that in my cup. No. Oh my god. Alright, where were we? What were we trying to look at and figure out? I know, Raki, I'm sorry, buddy. I can't help you, really. I'm an asshole, aren't I? Okay. Yeah, alright, so we've got a really interesting one here. Phew, yeah, this really is interesting. So you learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Lunar Spells table. Each of these spells counts as a sorcerer spell for you, right? But it doesn't count against the number of sorcerer spells you know, which is fair. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose what lunar phase manifests through your magic. So in theory, you know all of these. Hello. While in the chosen phase, you can cast one first level spell of the associated phase. Once. Alright, so it's gonna have to be a feature. I feel like I've got cat fur in my eye. Okay. Okay, so essentially what you need to do is you have a feature that adds that on the start of each fight picks one of these randomly. When it picks them, it is essentially going to add these to the list of available spells for that fight. The first time it casts a first level version of these, it doesn't need to use a spell slot. So the dynamically adding spells I can do. The spell slot shit. Like, I was pretty sure that when we use a spell slot, we just need to change this to false on during the action. Yeah. Which means we could probably encode it into the action info. But the problem is the only thing that gets the action info is only just established right before this. No, whoops, wrong one. Actually, no, I was in the right direction. Where was I? There, here. So for the main action, the action info only exists here. So how would we allow it to not use a spell slot? Rack? Trying to fucking break down my door. We could add the spell again, but what if we were to add the action again? I can't modify it before it gets triggered. Unless I was to just like remove it and add that, you know? How do you cast a spell without a spell slot? Yeah, Raki, how do you do it? Hmm. It's just fixed true here so that it can have false when it gets the score for the... Should we encode more information into a scored action? If we had the action info as part of this, then when it returns this list here, it gets the default action info. So when it picks the action, it would return action info to here. And then we could pass that in. That's possible. So we just slightly modify where this action info is being created. Which is going to break a lot of code for a second here. Alright. Let's do it. Scored action. You are going to get more information. Public action info. What do you mean action info 1? No. Action info. It's called no. I'm just now realizing the extent of how much that breaks. I think it's necessary, but oh no. This has just broken everything. But it's good to be able to pass information in alongside the action. So like, I think this is necessary. Especially as the game continues to expand. But this does mean that every single spell, everything that has an action, now it has to be redone. Just to include that. Okay. Oh, let's get to copy pasting. At least the cat can stay on my lap, I guess. Oh no. I fucked up the copy pasting already. There we go. Copy that. There we go. Now we're off. We already done Bane. We'll do Bless. Yeah, I got your fur in my mouth. Burning Hands. Catapult. Should I be passing it in through this? Because every time we get actions, we're creating a whole lot of action infos. So by default, if we pass it in through the get actions, so my solution currently is to add I think this works the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think this is fine. You gotta love it when I just go quiet for a minute and just think. I've come to accept that I'm gonna do that. And I can't help it. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to think about things, you know? And narrating my thought process doesn't make it any easier. Sometimes it does. Not all the time. My pinkies are already getting sore from doing this. Oh, you gotta love when all you can really do is just copy paste. I need to make that one of the buttons on my mouse. Rather than the dumbass shit that it does now. But I honestly don't know how to unbind it from what it is. I haven't looked into it. It's something it's a simple Google trip to Google, you know, to figure it out and learn, but I haven't done it. So Hellish Rebuke is also that, so I should probably... Okay, none of none of the other ones of those were reactions. I don't believe. What was I up to? I don't know. What was I up to? There we go. Found it. It's further than I thought. More. Ah, right. Poison. Laughter. Smite. Thunderwave. Beautiful. Witch Bolt. Witch Bolt has 2 because it's a sustained beam. Scary. Sorry, just starting to think of how Witch Bolt works. How does it work again? A beam of crackling blue energy lances out toward the creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature. On a hit, the target takes 1d12 lightning damage. And on each of your turns for the duration, you can use your action to deal 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically. You can use your action. Got it. Good. The spell ends if you use your action to do anything else. The spell also ends if the target is ever outside the spell's range. Yeah, keep it in mind. I imagine there are a lot of little things that we're going to need to modify moving forward, or just sort of... There's always little things to modify. It's another reason why I only did first level spells rather than doing all of them. I mean, we do also have cantrips to do. There's more. We're getting there though. The goal this week is to hopefully get the rest of these classes done. Though I am fully aware that I'm pretty sure both Warlock and... Okay, God, thank God. We don't have to do subclasses for Wizard. They get them on 2nd or 3rd level. But thankfully we don't have to do that. So, Warlock's going to take a minute as well. Hopefully not as long as Sorcerer. Hopefully they're less shenanigan-y. Hopefully we'll get the rest of this class stuff done by the end of the week. That is the goal, that is the hope. We just gotta get in here and get it done. Get her done. But no, we should be good. Mind Silver. I always read as Mind Silver. Don't know if that's just me or I'm a little bit bloody dyslexic. I'm actually not. Probably shouldn't say that. I'm perfectly undyslexic. I'm getting tired though. That I am getting. It is almost midnight. We're gonna have to call it soon. And pick it back up in the morning. I did start streaming a lot later than I was hoping to. But there we go, that's that. There's still a lot more to go though. Hunter's Mark, Hex, Heroism, Hellish Rebuke. Okay. There's still more. For instance, I know this is going to be mad at me. Only 17 that it found before it gave up. Bonus action attack. You get your own info since the score is already passing in another one. Well, what else? Magic Stone, yep, what else? Reaction, you get the... I'm gonna do that for now. It doesn't actually make a lot of sense. Maybe it does. The hide action, which I've only given to rogues, even though technically anyone can do it. It's just only rogues can benefit from it. Yeah, meow. The doors are closed and you can't get outside. Oh, I know, I'm such a bloody asshole, aren't I? Wait, which one did we go to before that was... Okay, it was a reaction that I passed it through to. I'm gonna pass the new action into the main action into the thing if it's a reaction, but not if it is a... See, bonus actions. I don't think they need it. I think they'll get a new one. Don't trust my character. Get in there. Reaction. You can take the action info. I'll have to go change his kitty litter in a minute. I'll do these real quick and then I'll go change his kitty litter. Alright. We did it. Meow. Give me 2 seconds, buddy. Okay, cool. We're error-free. So the next thing that we need to figure out is, still this. But I think I have an idea of how to do it. So now that we have that, we can add an action info requires spell slot and pass that in. So this should also mean that we might also need to modify some of the spells to be able to get them from outside of. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go clean his kitty litter. Dude, chill! Okay, give me 2 seconds. God damn this cat. Alrighty. Back again. So, I think I mostly figured out this. Even though I get distracted multiple times every 2 seconds. And I'm constantly picking cat hair out of my nose and mouth. Even though I cleaned this van like the other day. God, you can't avoid this shit. Alright. So let us make a lunar embodiment feature and begin there. La-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da. Lunar embodiment. Lunar. It's with an A, right? Embodiment feature. I'm pretty sure I spelled that right. Pretty good. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be a feature object, like all the rest of them. Let's grab another one to compare it to. You will do. I'm going to say lunar embodiment. That, beautiful. Alright. Okay, so this one does a bunch of weird shit, doesn't it? Okay, so on the start of each round, essentially, on the start of each, not round, each fight, you learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class. As shown in the lunar spells table, each of these spells counts as a sorcery spell for you, but doesn't count against the number, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose what lunar phase manifests its power through your magic. Full moon, new moon, or crescent moon. While in the chosen phase, you can cast one... Someone skin that cat. You can cast one first level spell of the associated phase. Okay. Okay, so at first level, I get all 3 of these, essentially. And then at the start of each fight, I get to pick a phase. And even though I have all 3 of these, during that fight, I can then cast this one. If I choose this phase, I can then cast this one without using a spell slot once. I believe I'm interpreting that right. Which is actually even more confusing than I interpreted originally, where I thought you only got one of these each time you chose it. Shit. It's actually way more complicated than I thought it was. Rack, I'm trying to think, and you're breaking my brain. My cat running back and forth trying to find a way to escape the van that he knows he's stuck in. That he has been for like 5 years. Probably longer. I feel like it was during my relationship with my ex. I was with her for like 4 years. I think we broke up like 4 years ago. I've been single for a while. Haven't really been looking. So it's probably been like, 5-6 years he's been stuck in here. Little bitch. Ever since I started taking him for walks, now he wants to walk every day. Or just be an outdoor cat again. That's not how that works. That's not the deal we made. Alright. Okay, so we need to learn all these spells on the level. And then this lunar embodiment feature needs to reach in each round to check if that spell is one that it can... my code really isn't ready for this. The only way that I can really think to do this practically is to essentially add all of these in. So the, you know, that they just all have this, every sorcerer has all of these spells. Not every sorcerer, every lunar sorcerer has these spells. And then this feature would add another copy of that spell that doesn't require a spell slot. But that's not a good way to do it, because it means that there's straight up a 50-50 chance whether or not it uses the spell slot in that case. Whether or not it chooses that spell and then chooses the one that doesn't use the spell slot. That's not a good way to do it. I need to do it in another way, where this feature somehow sees... Okay, what do we got? Public override, we have get actions. So we could add it as another action. But that would, like I said, 50-50. We would have two different versions of the shield spell. One that does use a spell slot, one that doesn't. We want it to not use a spell slot on the first time it does it. And it also needs to pick a lunar cycle. So on feature add, that's not going to help. On feature add, we're going to actually no, it needs to be on level up. On level up, it needs to be add all spells of what is it? What would be the words? Learn additional spells. Level. Which is going to be 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. Correct? Yes. Okay. And then override void on the start of each round. So on turn start, we would need to say if has use reach into all valid first level spells but it hasn't gathered the actions yet. So this is on turn start. This is being called up here. Yeah, right there. Hasn't yet picked actions which means it doesn't yet have a list of scored actions to be able to reach in and modify the action info for the available spells. Fail. That one doesn't work. That method of... I'm really not sure how to do this. I thought I was onto something there before. I mean, I know how to now add a copy that doesn't require a spell slot. I mean, for one, we need to say, that's simple. Oh my god, no, it's very annoying though. I would have to go through. Did any of you even get the spell slots? You're not even using a spell slot. Wait, they're cantrips. That's fair, that's fair. They shouldn't use a spell slot. There we go. Try to get highest spell slot, yes. So we would need to go through all of these. Except for this one. Actually, yes, this one. In here. Now we make the reaction. Public bool. Use spell slot. Default to true. So it would just say here, action info dot use spell slot. And that would need to go through all of these. It's annoying how often this happens. This also might be pointless. Hopefully not. If we can't find a way to reach into the action info before using the feature, then this is all pointless. How many goddamn spells are there? Shit. It's crazy. There's actually just too many spells. It's messed up. That is assuming that I'm allowed to use all these too. Hopefully we don't run into some copyright issues one day. If that's the case, then I guess it only gets to work on stream for us. I don't get to distribute it. Wait, would I even be able to do that? I don't know, maybe. Maybe I just say pretty please to Wizards of the Coast. It is a pretty please. Come on, it's so cool though. But look at it, it's so cool. Come on, baby. This one doesn't access. You don't give a shit about spell slots. Good. Ah, god damn, my pinky gets sore from doing that over and over again. Yeah. Call me Nelly. I can't keep... wait, no. Over and over again. That was all I can't take it. Trying to think of... I couldn't think of the words quick enough to know a good spot to go in that song. I just thought of the song and knew it was in there somewhere. Okay, what are we missing? Absorb elements, armor of Agathis. Okay, I still don't think that helps us. So on turn start. So not when picking equipped items, it doesn't matter there. Also doesn't really matter when we're picking a reaction. It is here when we pick actions. A list of scored actions. So we get a list of actions from the features before we get a list of actions from the spells. Is there a world where we could... search the spell first and then add it and then make it so that it can't add the same spell twice? Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with a solution to this tonight. It's getting too late. My brain's just falling apart. I don't want to stop because I don't want to lose my place, but that kind of feels stupid when I literally lose my place every 5 seconds because I'm getting too tired. The only other idea I have is what if we were to add another feature to... not another feature, another function to the feature object that is like a on attack or on action. So that when it... So right before it, after it picked its actions, we would run another function here. This has fucking got me cooked, eh? Whew. I mean, yeah, I guess. What, like, if we just had an on action function. Where, like, right here. It looked through... Wait, but even if we get access to this action info, all we can say is whether or not it needs to use a spell slot or not. We don't even know what action it is, let alone what level spell slot it is. It does say spell level though. Oh, there's just no clean way to do this. I think I might need to go to bed. I think I might need to sleep on this. Which I hate doing. But I do not have an answer. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm at a loss. Truly. I don't know how to reach into the action, see that it's a first level spell. Unless each spell... Unless, like, in here, when I create this action info, I populated it with spell information. Which might be the way to do it, which like, all I would have to do is, in this one here, is to say spell level equals int this dot spell level. Well, that feels wrong, but I think this is what I have to do. But then also there's more. For instance, this can just come straight up. So if we're initializing the action in the scored action, I would also have to go I hate doing spell level equals spell level. This is appropriate music. So when we add this action here, this is the added action. So we can change all of this. No. Just this. So it's adding an attack action. We can also pass the you can't upcast Zephyr Strike? Oh, well, that's shit. The way I've done it now, I could... when I add the action, I can store the spell level in here. In the added action. So that when it does it, it knows what the spell level is. Oh, I'm too tired to do this tonight. I think there's too much to change. I literally, right now, I don't even know what I'm doing. I knew 30 seconds ago and then I forgot. I think I'm cooked. So during the action, I need to establish spell information and action type and a couple of the generic stats, and then and then we'll add another function right here that can then say, oh, you're using a first level spell, are you? Oh, you have this feature, do you? No, we'll add an action that modifies action info. Which is just going to be a function. It doesn't even have to be an action. It's just going to modify action info. Create function to add, to modify action info. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, with that, I think I'm gonna call it, because holy shit. Yeah. Thanks for watching the 2 people that dropped in. They didn't jump into chat, but oh well. Either way, I think I'll figure this out. I think that's the answer. It is a lot of work though. We have to go back through and modify the code on the spells again. And then we have to create a function or create an action event. Something like that. But either way, I'll catch us later. See ya.